Good morning, students. In history part, today we are going to see ancient cities of Tamilagam. We are going to see cities like Pumbuhar, Madurai, Kanchi. Hope you all know the historical values. The lesson starts with a historical conversation like teacher and student. Come, let's join the conversation. Wow, you look so pretty in your new dress, Tamilini.
Ma'am, today is her birthday.
Wish you a happy birthday, Tamilini. Many more happy returns of the day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, children, shall we start today's class from Tamilini's birthday?
How come, ma'am? What is the connection between Tamilini's birthday and today's class?
There is. I shall come to that later. Let us stand up and wish her first.
Happy birthday, Tamil.
Thank you all.
Tamil, is Chennai your hometown?
No, ma'am. My hometown is Kadavur, near Karur.
Good. Do you have the habit of visiting your hometown?
Yes, ma'am. Every summer I visit my hometown.
Excellent. Can you tell me the difference between Kadavur and Chennai?
Kadavur is village. Chennai is a city.
Excellent. Can you tell what were the earliest planned cities of ancient India?
Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, ma'am.
Yes, very good children. Today we are going to study about the ancient towns of Tamilagam. There are Pumbuhar, Madurai, Kanchi. Shall we start?
Okay, ma'am.
See, we have started today's lesson with Tamilini's birthday.
Yes, ma'am.
Like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro in ancient India, there were famous towns in ancient Tamilagam too. Madurai, Kanchi and Pumbuhar are prominent among them. Children, do you know what is meant by Mesopotamian civilization? Mesopotamian civilization is the earliest civilization in the world. It is 6500 years old. Students, now let's see about Pumbuhar. Pumbuhar is one of the oldest towns in ancient Tamilagam. This is the place where well-known characters of Silapadigaram, Kovalan and Kannagi lived. It was also a port town along the Bay of Bengal. Port is nothing but it is a harbour area where ships load and unload goods or passengers. The ports were established for facilitating maritime trade. Children, maritime trade is a kind of trade that involves the transport of goods through the sea using ships. Pumbuhar is one such historic port that emerged in the wake of increasing maritime trade. It is a coastal town near the present day Mailadurai, and it is located where the river Kaveri drains into sea. Import the scarce commodities by sea. Students, even in times past, countries began to export their surplus products and import the scarce commodities by sea. Exports means something that is sent to another country to be sold. Import means a raw material or finished product that is brought into a country from abroad. Here, the word surplus means a surplus can refer to a host of different items, including income, profits, capital, and goods. Scarce means they are importing the insufficient products by sea. So here they are exporting the surplus products, means they are exporting the extra product from their country. Importing the scarce commodities means they are importing the insufficient products by sea. Pumbuhar Port. Pumbuhar was also known by names such as Puhar and Kaveri Pumbattinam. Students, note it carefully. Pumbuhar was also known by names such as Puhar and Kaveri Pumbattinam. Port town along the Bay of Bengal. As you already know that it was also a port town along the Bay of Bengal. It served as a early Chola kingdom. One of the popular Sangam literature, Pattinapalai, Tamil epics, Silapadigaram and Manimegalai. These Tamil epics reference to the brisk sea-borne trade. Sea-borne trade is nothing but transported by ship over the sea. Silapadigaram speaks about the greatness of Pumbuhar. The lead female character of Silapadigaram is Kannagi. Her father is Manaigan. Sea traders are known by the name Manaigan. Students, note it carefully. Sea traders are known by the name Manaigan. The male character Kovalan's father is Masathuvan. Masathuvan means a big trader. From this, we can easily understood that in Pumbuhar, sea traders and big traders were lived. It was a place where big traders and sea traders had settled down. Numerous merchants from foreign countries such as Greece, Rome, landed at Pumbuhar. Due to busy and continuous trade, many of them stayed in Pumbuhar. There are evidence of foreigners' settlement in town. Children, how we know that foreigners were settled in Pumbuhar? Because Pumbuhar people speaking many languages by loading and unloading the goods from ships, and also the foreign traders began to interact with the local people. This enabled the natives to hear foreign languages for communications. Similarly, the foreigners also learnt Tamil to communicate with the natives. This contact facilitated not only exchange of goods but also languages and ideas, resulting in cultural blending. The traders of Pumbuhar were known for their honesty and integrity. They sold goods at legitimate prices, that is, correct price. Pattinapalai states that selling any commodity at a higher price was considered bad. The author of Pattinapalai is Kadiyalur Urutiranganar, belonged to 2nd century BC BCE. Goods exported. Pepper was procured through the land route. Gold that came from Vadamalai, and it was polished and exported to the overseas countries. Pumbuhar had been built differently from other towns. Each social group had a separate settlement. Streets were broad and straight, dotted with well-designed houses. There was also a dockyard. The roads and streets intersected at right angles with covered drains along the road. Houses were built on either side of the roads and streets. The drainage system of the Pumbuhar cities was the best known to the world in ancient times. We can learn about the life of the people of Puhar by reading Pattinapalai and Puhar Kandam of Silapadigaram. Puhar was a busy port up to 200 AD CE. It might have been either washed away by sea or destroyed by a big shore waves. The remains of the destruction can still be seen in the present Poombuhar town. Now let's see about Madurai. Madurai has been one of the oldest cities in India. It can be understood from the Sangam Valartha Nagaram. Pandyas, the Cholas and the later Kalabras ruled Madurai in the ancient period. During medieval times, later Cholas and later Pandyas followed by the Nayaks ruled this historic town. This has been resulted in cultural blending. Trade flourished and evidence for this has been unearthed in archaeological excavation done in Kiradi near Madurai. Madurai is proudly associated with Tamil Sangam. 49 poets were associated with the last Sangam. Hagil, fragrant wood was brought from Port Tondi to Madurai. King Solomon of ancient Israel imported pearls from Vuvari. The mint of Roman coins was present at Madurai. The coins of other countries were also minted at Madurai. The fame of Madurai is attested by the account of the Greek historian, which is a proof for the glory of Madurai. Now let's see about Tunga Nagaram. Madurai had Nalangadi and Alangadi. Nalangadi means day market, Alangadi means evening market. Madurai is known as Tunga Nagaram, which means the city that never sleeps. Madurai was a safe place where women purchased things from Alangadi without any fear. Now let's see about Kanchi. A place of learning is called school. Several schools were established in a great numbers for the first time in Kanchipuram. Jains studied in Jainapalli and Buddhists studied in Viharas. The greatness of Kanchi as an educational center can be understood from the Chinese traveler Huan Sang, who studied at Nalanda University. Huan Sang studied at Nalanda University. Poet Kalidasa says, Kanchi is the best of the towns. Tamil poet Saint Tirunavukkarasar praises Kanchi as Kalviyil Karayillada Kanchi. Huan Sang remarked that Kanchi can be counted as one among the 7 sacred places like Bodh Gaya and Sanchi. Kanchi is the oldest town in Tondai Nadu. Scholars like Dharmapalar, Jodhipalar, Sumadi and Bodhidharmar were born in Kanchi. Students, Kanchi is also known as a temple city. The famous temple of great architectural beauty, Kailasanatha temple. Students, who built Kailasanatha temple? Yes, by later Pallava king Rajasimha at Kanchi. During the Pallava period also, a large number of cave temples were built. The Buddhist monk spent the last part of her life at Kanchi, speaks highly of the town. Students, and you know what? Water management played an important role in the agrarian society of those times. Hundreds of lakes were created for storing water around the town of Kanchi. These lakes were well connected with canals. During the later period, Kanchi came to be known as a district of lakes. Students, note it carefully. Kanchi came to be known as a district of lakes. Water management skills of the ancient Tamils can be understood from the construction of Kallanai in the Chola country. Apart from Poompugar, Madurai and Kanchi, there were other towns too in ancient Tamilagam. Korkai, Vanji, Tondi, Urayur, Musiri, Karuvur, Mamallapuram, Tanjai, Tagadur and Kayal are some of them. By conducting archaeological research, we get more information about these places. Students, with this we shall complete this lesson now. Students, listen carefully. Make a note of each and every important points in your social classwork note. Now let's recall the content what we learnt in this session. In ancient cities of Tamilagam, we learnt about the greatness of the towns of ancient Tamilagam, Pumbuhar, Madurai and Kanchi, ancient kingdoms of Tamilagam. And also we learnt about craft, markets, manufactures, maritime trade, education and water management in ancient Tamilagam. First one is Pumbuhar. Yes, it was one of the oldest towns in ancient Tamilagam. The main characters of Silapadigaram, Kovalan and Kannagi lived. Ports were established for facilitating maritime trade. Maritime trade is nothing but what? Yes, it is a kind of trade that involves the transport of goods through sea using ships. Countries began to export their surplus products, import scarce commodities by sea. Scarce is nothing but what? They are import the insufficient products by sea. Surplus means they sold the extra products from other countries. Coastal town near present-day Mailadurai, located where river Kaveri drains into sea. And the second city is Madurai. It was one of the oldest cities in India. Pandyas, Cholas and later Kalabras ruled Madurai in ancient period. During medieval times, the later Cholas and later Pandyas followed by the Nayaks ruled this historic town. And the trade were flourished in their country. Evidence for this unearthed in archaeological excavation done in Kiradi near Madurai. Kanchi was an educational center. Many great scholars were associated with it. Kanchi, known as a city of temples, was also known for water management. At last, now let's see the Tamil sayings represent the uniqueness of each ancient Tamil kingdom. First one, Cholanadu, Sorudaithu, which means rice in abundance. Pandyanadu, Muttudaithu, which means pearls in abundance. Cheranadu, Velamudaithu, which means elephants in abundance. Tondainadu, Sandror Udaithu, which means scholars in abundance. Let's see today's activity. Make a note of each and every important points in your social classwork note. If you have any doubt, make a note of it. The doubts will be clarified on reopening day. First one, make an album about Kiradi excavations. Second one, make a booklet about the famous cities of Tamil Nadu. Do it in your activity note.